We all talk about AI being all over the place, but how many people can realistically be able to use it?
Say school is a scam. Let's this school. Let's focus on learning, learning the skill and AI alone.
You will remember a recent trending comment about a particular CEO that said, okay, they have a lot of vacancy, but they don't have people to fit into the role.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Tech Way podcast, where we have real conversations with people that are shaping the tech space. And I am your host, Anoluwamepo Idowu. Today, we will be diving into what it really takes to grow and stay relevant in the AI era. The tech industry is changing fast, and today career success isn't just about degrees, it's about skills, adaptability, and digital literacy. Joining me today to break down all these nuances that's going on in the tech era, I have Omo Olatoye. Omo is a technology strategist, AI expert, and the founder of Aliign PSP. She has over 15 years of experience of driving digital transformations across Africa, the UK, and Europe. She has advised multiple high-growing growth tech startups and helped build innovative AI-powered tech solutions. She's also incredibly passionate about empowering women in tech and helping professionals navigate future work. Omo, welcome to the Tech Way podcast. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you so much, Anolua. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Okay, so before we go into what we are discussing today, remember we are talking about AI and this and our career. I want you to give us how you entered into tech, right? Give us because you already have an incredible background. You have a wealth of experience, like I said, 15 years of experience. And I want you to give us a breakdown of how you entered into the tech space.
Thank you so much. No, rather, it's over 20 years experience. My first experience with tech was actually an HR project. I've always worked within HR space, and I needed to do a transformation of one of the tools I was working with. So I got involved with the tech people, working with them, driving what I wanted for that project. And you know how tech people can be. Developers, you have to push and push. So it got to a point where I had to start learning some of those things on YouTube myself, right? So I did a lot of learning on macro, how to put all of this together. I designed what I wanted. Then it was a lot easier for them to then work with me because I had practically done what I wanted. I designed what I wanted. I just pushed it to them. So it was a project then, my previous organization, which then earned me promotion. That was how I got into tech, right? It was accidental, but it was really nice. Yeah. So I just looked at it. Oh, I can do this. That was how my business analysis started, and I began to put together other projects, looked at what transformation is needed in other things, and then I was able to do all of that. And sincerely, if I can do it, a lot of other people can do it. And coincidentally, I'm also writing a book now, and I'm working with real professionals that have actually transitioned, some owning their own tech organization from not having that tech experience and being their own innovative business owners now. And I also have people that are heading businesses, employees that have no business in tech, but they've been able to do it, right?
Yeah.
It just tech is adaptable for everybody. We just have to have that passion, either accidentally growing into it or intended. It is something we can all do.
Thank you very much for that wonderful response. You make it sound very relatable for someone who does not have a tech background before. And our skills, the inquisitiveness that you have brought you back down into the tech industry. Now, Going into the questions for this program today,
Mm.
I would like to ask, how should we realistically understand the impact of AI on work and roles? You know that, like you said, tech is evolving. It's not standing in one place, it's not static. But how do we understand the impact that AI now has on our work and in specific roles?
Thank you so much, Anu. Understanding the impact of AI is it's no longer far fetched, right? Gone are the days where we assume that AI is something that's very, this mighty, very difficult thing. It's a lot easier now with the likes of cloud AI bringing innovation that we can just adapt almost instantly into our business. You adapt it, and it's giving you initiative on how to do things and all that. It's make the workplace a lot easier for everybody. Gone are the days where in the days of banking, remember when ATM came up and we had to look at it that, oh, it's going to cause people to lose their jobs and all that. People are still doing their jobs today. ATM is here. Other innovations are coming up. What is done is it has reformatted the tasks that you and I do within the workplace. It has nothing to do with you losing your job, more of reforming, transforming the roles that you and I do within the workplace. And it is our responsibility, including the organization, to ensure we have the skill, not just implementing the AI, but also ensuring that we have the skill to be able to adapt to it. So a lot speaks to what AI is doing in our workplace, but the question is, what are we doing about it? Because AI will transform our roles, but what are you and I doing about it to ensure we can also adapt into that role?
Beautifully explained. Um, like you said, you have over 20 years of experience. I love the fact that you brought that up because it is very important for us to understand how deep you've gone into working even before the AI, because I believe AI came in 5 years ago, 2020. That was when the big boom of AI really came in when it comes to career and using AI, ChatGPT, and co. Now, I would like to ask, do traditional qualifications still is it still relevant in this AI era? You've done multiple, like 15 years of experience before AI, and then with AI you now have that's 20 years more of experience. But
Mm.
with an overview and that experience, would you say we still need that traditional qualifications in this era?
And absolutely, we still need qualification. Qualification is still very necessary in today. But however, the mindset shouldn't be about just what qualification, but more of what capability do you have, right? It is one thing to gain the qualification. You went to school, you studied computer science, but what capability do you have in it? In this day and age, especially in Africa, that I doubt if there's enough computers to go around, even where students buy their own computer. But what capability do they have in being able to use that computer? We all talk about AI being all over the place, but how many people can realistically be able to use it? And in this day, I doubt if organizations during recruitment are still asking about your qualification anymore. Most organizations today will ask you about your portfolio, will ask you about what you've done. You will remember a recent trending comment about a particular CEO that said, okay, they have a lot of vacancies, but they don't have people to fit into the role. Not because these people do not have the qualification, but do they actually have the capability to do it? I can imagine that they invite a few of them, they invite some of them to interview, and it can be very frustrating. You interview over 20 people and nobody fits into it, not because they don't have the qualification, but do they have the capability? Can they do the work? If they give you a test during an interview, are you able to do it very well? Do you have examples of projects you've done? Do you have examples of work you've done? You're a teller. Can you speak conveniently? Your qualification is good, but what can you do with that qualification that shows that you're actually ready to be an AI tech customer service, you're an AI tech teller, an AI, just very any role that you want to fit into it, because AI is everywhere. Your
Mm.
qualification will matter, but what about your capability? How are you doing this? How are you able to fit into it to defend that you can do it well? This is what I've been doing. People with a lot of people today, I give example of people that have no business in tech, but they are in tech. They didn't have the qualification, but they gained other experience through it. And there are multiple ways of gaining that experience. It could be through certification, it could be through anything. Today, the strongest professionals today are combining both the qualification and the experience with the skill set to become that professional we can't do without in our workplace. So really, qualification matters, but it does not matter on its own anymore.
So we shouldn't say school is a scam. Let's this school. Let's focus on learning, learning the skill and AI alone.
No, we cannot. We can't do that.
Okay, great. Okay, I want us to talk about career survival in this AI era. And when we talk about career surviving, that means you want to survive in your career. But when it comes with merging career survival and AI together, do you think that we still have to bring in continuous learning? That is to say, is continuous learning still very essential when it comes to surviving in our career in this area?
Oh, yes, very well. So, continuous learning is very relevant in today's world. Today the workplace changes very fast, right? Continuous learning, it's not just about formal education, it's not just about you have a degree. Continuous learning is someone that then looks at it, is very adaptable, understand the workplace, the environment, and say this skills is now necessary. What steps do I have to take to go get that skills, to go learn that thing, right? Multiple ways you can do it. You can get a mentor, you can do workplace experience. We have people in tech, in commercial, in finance, going to an HR person and learning about what they do, right? Different ways you can do this. You can learn other things through other ways. It can be through podcast. What we are doing now is a way for someone to learn. They can pick it up tomorrow and pick an information from it on what they need to do. There are diverse ways, but it's very essential that we do not stop. Education is not a scam, like you said. It's not a scam. People need to stay curious. They need to stay adaptable so that they can remain relevant in the workplace. The World Economic Forum had mentioned that 60% people would need to upskill by 2030. That's 60% of people in the workplace. What are they upskilling for? If you and I don't start upskilling now, 2030 is in how many more years? And we don't even have to wait for that for another 4 years for 2030. It's necessary today. If you need to change your role, what other skills are you showing that I have this skill set? I have moved from what I have learned in school. I have learned this other experience. I have gotten this other knowledge that I'm able to, use in my new work role. So indeed, continuous learning is important, but it doesn't necessarily have to be just in the workplace. There are diverse ways we can get that continuous learning.
I love how you explained it. It's beautiful. In the AI era, we have so many skills, like you said, upskilling and more, and people have the ability to even learn more skills even without going to academies and co. But we still realize that there's still a skill gap. We still have skill gap with the rise of AI learning. There's a lot of graduates every single year. Graduates are coming out of the universities and entering into the workforce. But why do you think there's still this skill gap? People not being able to fit into roles that are open vacancies. There are a lot of job roles open, but yet we can't find people to fit into these roles. Is there a reason why?
I would say the skill gap. There are different factors to it, right? So I had seen in the daily sometime on social media about a particular person that had up to, I think, 2 PhDs and is still looking for work. And in that same week, I did see a job advert that was looking for a researcher with PhD degree. Right? And and it just goes to show that sometimes it could be information. It's not just about capability sometimes. While capability plays a lot in it, the skill gap will remain, like I said, because sometimes information, we have people that can do it, but do they have access to that role? Do they have the connectivity to be able to do it? And skill gap again could be in terms of speed. The way they churn people out of school, technology moves faster than that. What you learned in school last week is no longer relevant today. It's
Yes.
no longer relevant. Exactly. Technology changes faster than what education is doing. So a lot depends on universities can they I doubt if they've updated their curriculum from years back from the days I left school. I'm not sure, but I really doubt that. Yeah. So it just or how often they update it. So a lot is dependent on what causes the skill gap. Your skill might be relevant today for a particular role somewhere, but you do not have the information or an unequal access. You will find that this will happen a lot. It is not just about capability, but we need to be able to do other things like you have the experience, but what information, who are your network, what are you doing, and all that. And another thing is the organizations, they expect a lot of job ready talent. They expect a lot of job ready talent. It's I job ready talent without the training, it's not going to give you anything. They have the knowledge, they're hungry for it, but you need to be able to give them that opportunity to learn. You need to be able to give them that curriculum they learned in school. It's not relevant for you, but you can do other things to support them. And I see some organizations are beginning to start with apprenticeship, but apprenticeship at what cost? Without consideration of all these factors. And we all need to work together, both the individual, the school, the professionals, the organization. A lot has to be done to ensure that skill gap is closed. It's not as wide as it currently is. Skill gap will remain when all these things are not addressed as necessary.
Okay, great. You said something that the organizations are looking for skill ready, like
I
someone
like
that can come into the organization and quickly do that. This is a bit something I want to ask a follow up question in this. Do
okay,
you
good.
believe that this pace that technology is coming out, we have, like you said, what was learned last week is probably is not relevant again today.
Mhm.
That pace that technology is being pushed out every time, do you think is affecting the pace in which humans or we can be able to adapt to the requirement of organizations in career? I hope you understand what I'm saying. Technology is
Yeah,
coming out very fast. Demand
yeah.
is coming out, is upgrading very fast. But
Mhm.
then, do you think we can be able to meet up as fast as these changes are coming up?
I really think we can. And the main answer will be in terms of apprenticeship. Organizations and universities, or wherever it is we are learning from, need to have a system where, as you're learning, it is also going in line with you gaining the experience. Take, for example, you are in school and you are also working at the same time. We've seen people that do that on their own, the part time students, right? They are learning and they are, whatever it is they are learning at work, they are able to fit it into their regular into school. They sometimes they don't need to read because when I'm reading, I am an accountant at work. I may be a part-time employee, but I have learned how to do a lot of whatever it is finance people do. So when I see the question or when the lecturer is teaching, they are able to relate it and they will do better. And the same thing with in the workplace. So if I am learning something at work and I get to the in school and I get to work and what we're doing at work has exceeded, is more advanced than what we're learning in school. I'm able to come back to school and tell my lecturer to say, oh, this is what we do now. This is how this is done. This is no longer relevant. and the school is able to update whatever curriculum they work with. So really, we can close it. We can learn as fast as technology if we're able to. When we are learning, we're also going to school at the same time. It's, education is a lot easier. Organizations qualification is necessary, but it doesn't have to be the rigid classroom qualification anymore. People learn from home. People go to part-time school. They have their qualification and they have their experience at the same time that they are doing all this. So in 4 5 years that they are graduating, whenever they graduate, they also have that qualifications of, that experience, years of the experience with it, to show any employer. And an employer will rightly jump at such a person than somebody that's coming out of school, fresh graduate, just certificate with a first class and all of that. Except that person is also ready to go and learn and start all over again.
Yeah, I can relate very much with what you said. I did part time while I was in school, and I worked while I was in school. What skill do you believe is very relevant, or when we put it on a scale of 1 to 5, what are the skills that you believe are most important in this AI era?
Okay. Today, the number one skill that is most relevant is definitely digital capability. It's definitely that. Whatever technical experience you have, you need to be digitally skilled. That is very necessary, except that's not part of the question. But the human side of it, which is also what we call the soft skill, that will always be relevant aside you learning digital capability, aside you having your technical expertise that is necessary regardless of the role you're doing. The human side of it that is transferable, that can fit into any role, would most definitely be critical thinking. You need to have that critical thinking, be able to analyze things when it's given to you, look at it and know how to fit into it. Just analyze things generally, be able to critique things. And another important skill today is in terms of communication, right? Being able to communicate with people. You find out they say that developers are not very good communication. They don't communicate very well. They just want to, stay on their computer and do a lot of work. But this set of people, they have a way that you can also communicate with them. Is to be able to learn the nuance of how to communicate with diverse set of people, right? Because you want your job done properly, because you want to learn different things. So you need to also have that communication skill. And tied to that communication skill is the part of stakeholder management. Whoever it's you're working with, being able to relate with them. You're working with your manager, you're working with your subordinate, anybody you're working with, regardless of the digital skill you have, the technical capability. Those are skills that will forever remain adaptable and will ever remain important. And apart from that, the ability to lead. As you grow up your career, leadership is very necessary. We're speaking now, we're not in the same place, but you come in and you're able to relate very well. You're ready about to do your technical role, whatever role you're doing as an accountant, as an HR person, whatever skill that is required for your role, you need to be able to do that very well. And you need to also have that digital, like I said, you need to have that digital skill, even if it's ordinary typing, if it's ordinary how to research, if it's ordinary, and information is everywhere. Go on YouTube, you can learn anything today. And that's where curiosity comes in. That's a lot of things come into it. But to excel today, the most important skill you can give yourself is to have a combination of digital skills, combination of your technical skills, look at what your role is, and have all those other soft skills I had mentioned. That's what make you a professional today.
I love that, and I believe that people that are listening, watching now, will be able to take note of this and be able to implement that in themselves. And these are for organizations. Where do organizations, or where do most organizations fail the most when it comes to designing for transformation? They believe that they are designing for transformation, but it seems like in this area, you've worked with many organizations before, but you seem like consistently or over time, organizations have failed in this area, where do you think they need to improve the most?
Where organizations fail the most is in terms of the people. The people. When they implement a project, they treat that project as, and this is what I see almost all the time, as an IT project. We've designed it, we've implemented, but did you look at the people side of it? Uh, your implementation will only remain implementation in name, in book, without the people that are going to use it. And the more they use it, that's when it becomes transformative. The more they use it, that's when the business world will change. That's when you will actually see the effect of that transformation you've done, right? And that's where organizations fail. They fail to understand that the people side of it, the employee readiness for that project, the communication, the change management, the culture, the leadership alignment itself, they fail to see that side of it, that you need to be able to discuss all this. You need to have all of this settled. So if we're taking, for example, are people aware of why you want to implement this new structure? Why you want to move us from this kind of performance management to a new performance management? Do they understand that? Do they understand that the previous performance management, my record previously, my appraisal still matters today? It's not going to be wiped off. Do people understand that? Have you trained them? Do you carry them along? Do they understand the benefit for themselves? Who is handling the leader? Are they showing that, okay, we are using this is what is being done and all of that? So as long as organizations don't carry people along in terms of their project transformation, it's always going to remain just implemented project. And it use. If you go on apps today, there are lots of apps, but how many of it are people really using? So the biggest mistake that any organization will make is assuming people will naturally embrace that change simply because technology is available. When you assume, you see companies, they implement something, they do a lot of advert on it. Not because they want to spend that money, but because they understand that it is necessary that people are carried along. But how many people do you really carry along? People implement things and they carry external factors along. They carry customers, but the people internally that have to communicate this change to your customers, that have to speak about it. Your first face, the first set of things that people say about your organization, they really know about it. So we need to begin as organization. We need to look at any transformation as not just technical, but also as people improvement system. That's it, that's the only way you can actually succeed. Otherwise, they say they implement and this set of people can't do it, they hire a new set of people. What's going to happen when you then implement another one? Are you going to hire a new set of people? We need to understand that people matter as much as whatever it is you are implementing. They say culture swallow your strategy. Whatever it takes it for breakfast. So whatever it is you're implementing, that system you're implementing, if the culture does not align with it, if people understand it, whatever you're implementing will remain a complete waste of fund. So for organizations to grow, the people that will implement, that will use the system, that will use whatever transformation you are implementing, are also as important as the system that you are implementing.
Great. Now to round off, because of our time, I'd like to ask, what practical approach could support young professionals so that they can build resilience in their career? What are the practical things that they can do, skills that they can learn in order to build that resilience that they need to stay and grow in their career?
Yeah, thank you. We had looked at this previously when we talked about how people can learn, what else can they learn. And, one area I would tell young professionals, and not just young professionals, mid-career people, is to begin to build adaptable career. Don't just look at the job title because I study finance, I'm going to be a financial manager or something. You can study finance, but that accounting, whatever you've learned, is also good for as a data analyst. It's also good for other things. It could be used in another industry. We need to begin to look at it, and this goes out to every young professional. You need to begin to look at your career in terms of adaptable career. What else can I do? Right? Not just because I am boxed and this is what I'm going to do all the time. I was speaking with one of my mentee a while back. She's a student at the Covenant University, and she was saying, "Oh, this because I'm studying, I can only do research work and all that." And I broke it down to her on why. So I just said, let's go on to LinkedIn. Can you put in what's this, just put in what you're studying? And she put it in, and we opened up a lot of people, mainly in the US, that did that course, but they're doing other things now. They're doing this. And I said, can you look at what else did they do to gain that grad? And we looked at other, qualifications they've done, experiences, and all that. And that speaks to, making your career adaptable. It's not just about what you've studied in school, it's about other things that you've done. And you can do this by, look at transferable skills that you can develop, look at learning digital tools that you can begin to do. We talked about soft skills, communication ability, right? You also need to begin to network intentionally. Gone are the days where it's just your few friends you have in school. There's a lot of opportunity to network today. People do a lot of things online. You can, volunteer, join them, learn to do things, and you need to begin to document your achievement. LinkedIn is there, document it. Any recruiter that wants you, they will see what you've done. That's what they want. Begin to document it, as small as something you do in your school space, like you supported them to put together an event, and document it. I have young teenagers now that they are doing their internship. They come together, I think once a month. They meet and they document what they do, as much as football. The last it was football, and they talked about how they organized it, what they did, and all of that. That's event planning, that's coordination, that's leadership, that's organizing, all showing up in a small thing that you thought is not relevant. And you can do this by, build your proof of work, show you are very relevant. Any employer that will pick up your profile, let them understand that, hey, build your online CV, not just on LinkedIn. Build a website for yourself. It's really easy. Go online, design something for yourself. Career is no longer linear as we know it. It's no longer from here to here to here to here. It's no longer linear. Professionals today, they combine multiple skills, and that's where resilience is built. And this is what I ask other young people today: to build resilience, have transferable skills, move around, learn new things, and be able to show all of this to any recruiter that's picking you up. Thank you.
Thank you, Omo. It's been a wonderful time speaking with you. I mean, I learned so many things from you, especially when it comes to documenting. Yes, I do communications, but then documenting your work is very important, because you look back and, in fact, you don't know who is watching. You don't know who is watching, who is checking up on you, who is constantly looking at your progress, and then doors can open and you can apply. Thank you so much, Omo, for sitting with us today on the Tech Way podcast. We really appreciate your presence. We've learned a lot, and I'm sure that many people that are watching this or will watch it, because it will be available on our YouTube channel soon before the end of this week, will learn a lot from here. It's so nice to have you here. We are rounding off right now. I remain your host, Anolu Amikro Idowu. See you again on the Techway podcast. Until then, have a lovely day. Bye.